We learned when somebody's back is up against the wall, they come up with a lot of creative solutions. And if they don't have a lot of money, like Ukraine doesn't, they can figure it out.
Speaking at the 2024 Air and Space Forces Association Symposium, General James Hecker, who works in NATO Air Command, detailed what the US is learning from the war in Ukraine and how it will change warfare going into the future.
We give them some exquisite weapons, some things that are pretty expensive, but that's not going to do it alone, and I think we're finding that out as well as the United States Air Force, that we just can't concentrate on the exquisite because we don't have enough money to buy all the exquisite stuff that we need. So we have to also bring some low-end stuff.
The war in Ukraine is entering its third year, and Europe's second biggest country is short of manpower and ammunition. And according to Ukraine's Minister for Digital Transformation, Mikhailo Fedorov, in certain areas of the front, FPV, or first-person view drones, are destroying more targets than artillery.
These are the drones where the operator wears goggles and then flies them like a kamikaze into the target. So the unarmed drone would first find it, and then they would send up the fast racer to go and actually strike it.
Obviously, Russia too is putting UAVs, or unmanned aerial vehicles, into theater.
If they come in at 100 feet, you can't see them with a regular radar because you don't have line of sight over the horizon because of the curvature of the Earth.
And General Hecker says that Ukraine has had to improvise with ways to track them.
What did they do? They grabbed 8,000 cell phones and they put them on a 6-foot pole, and they put them all around the Ukraine, and they put a microphone like this next to it, so they could hear the one-way UAVs coming overhead. Cost $500. They were able to get headings, they were able to get velocity of these things.
Not only were they cheap to produce, but General Hecker says they could then share that information with some 200 mobile units using AAA, that's anti-aircraft artillery.
And they'd train a guy for 6 hours to sit in the AAA and look at an iPad that would show them where the UAVs were coming in. They had 84 of them that came in the other day. They tracked all 84. They shot down 80 with AAA. That's on the right side of the cost curve, as opposed to shooting them down with Patriots and SM-2 missiles.
And it's not just with drones that Ukraine is being innovative. According to US and Ukrainian officials, Ukraine's army brought down 5 Russian warplanes last May using a repurposed Patriot missile battery. In the meantime, here fighters can be seen using a self-made multiple-launch rocket system installed on a pickup truck. General Hecker says that other US adversaries are also taking advantage of UAVs' relative ease of accessibility.
Just think of what just happened. One-way UAVs put everyone in the game, to include the Houthis.
The crew of the guided missile destroyer USS Carney shot down 3 land attack cruise missiles and several drones that were launched by Houthi forces in Yemen.
And when they did their attack on 18 October, they had 21 come over at $7,000 apiece, and we shot them down with $700,000 SM-2 missiles. That is not the right side of the cost curve.
I would love to have the Navy produce more directed energy that can shoot down a drone, so I don't have to use an expensive missile to shoot it down. But what's worse than not having that expensive missile shoot it down is hitting that $2 billion ship with 300 sailors on it.
We need to think about that to protect ourselves against that threat that's going to come in swarms. What the Houthis did, what Russia's doing, is nothing compared to what we're going to see.
With rising threats across the world, retaining air superiority means dominating domain awareness. And General Hecker says that goes for members of NATO too.
Not all of them can afford F-35s, but they can all afford a $10,000 UAV. If we start doing the same thing, we'll get 15 other partners involved. They can launch and put a bunch of these, if we have to, across into Russia. And now we can empty their magazines where they're taking SA-22s, SA-21s, and 23s, going after $10,000 one-way UAVs that a partner produced, and it cost us no money because they wanted to be part of the war, and now we just found a way for them to be part of the war and really part of deterrence.